in this next video, we're going to be looking at expressions and we're going to be finding the GCF and we're going to be writing an expression. Oops. So we're going to find GCF and write in factored form. Okay, so that's what we're doing next. So now this time, instead of just being given two monomials and finding the GCF, we're going to be given a polynomial. So here's example number 3. (4x cubed plus 12x squared minus 40x). Okay, so first we're going to find the GCF. Now in this case, we're finding the GCF of 3 separate terms. Okay, again, you may be able to kind of look and see, but you could also factor it out, right? This is 4 is 2 times 2 times x times x times x. Okay, 12, let's see. That's 4 times 3, so that's 2 times 2 is 4, right? Times 3 times x times x. 40 is 4 times 10, so I'm just going to sort of finish factoring that in my head, right? 4 is 2 times 2, 10 is 2 times 5, and then I have this x. Okay, so let's see. What do they have in common? Well, they all have these 2 2's, right? Which is 4. And then they also, so then this one has one x, and there's an x here and an x here. They don't have any other x's in common, right? Like these two have x's in common, but if in order for it to be a common factor, it has to be shared with all 3. So here, there's no other common factors, right? Like there's a 2 here, but there's no other 2's here. There's a 5 here, there's no other 5's here. There's a 3 here, but it's not shared. Same with the x's. So what's the greatest common factor? So we're going to give 2 things. So we're going to say, what's the GCF? And the GCF is 4x, right? It's 2 times 2 times x. And then we're going to give what's called factored form. Okay, and what that means is we're going to take this 4x and we're going to, this is not the proper math word, but we're going to sort of undistribute it, right? We're going to say, what would this look like if I took the 4x out of each term, right? So imagine when we distribute, we do, if I had something in here, I would do 4x times, 4x times, 4x times, right? But I want to know, what would it look like if I did the opposite? Okay, so there's a few ways to think about this. One is that if you already did this work, then your work is sort of done, because look, 4x cubed is 4x, I already took that out, times x squared. Okay, and we can sort of check our work by distributing, right? 4x times x squared, that's 4x cubed. Okay, good, that works. Here, what's left over is this 3x. Okay, and check your work. 4x times 3x is 12x squared, that works. And what's left here is 2 times 5, which is 10. So let's see, 4x times 10, 40x, that works, right? So you could see that we're sort of undistributing. We're saying, okay, well, I know that each of these has a 4x in common, so what if the 4x is on the outside? What would have to be on the inside in order for me to end up with that? Okay, so yeah, I'm going to give an expression, and you're going to give the GCF and the factored form of the expression. Okay, go ahead and try that. Try that with 14h cubed plus 35h squared minus 21h. Okay, go ahead and pause and try that before you continue. Let's take a look. Okay, you should have tried this. 14 is 7 times 2, 3 h's. 35 is 7 times 5, 2 h's. And 21 is 7 times 3 and 1 h. So I notice that 7. And I notice 1 h. And nothing else is in common here, right? There's a 3 here, a 5 and an h here, 2, a couple h's there, right? So the GCF is 7h. And the factored form is, I'm going to pull out that 7h and say, okay, 7h times what is 14h cubed? So that's 2h squared plus 5h minus, careful, right? Catch the signs, 3. Okay, and then check and see if it works. 7h squared times 2h squared is 14h cubed. 7h times 5h is 35h squared. 7h times negative 3, negative 21h. That works. Okay. Let me just show you one more so you get a chance to see it one more time. Okay, let's take a look. 6 is 3 times 2, and then there's 5 x's. 9 is 3 times 3, this is 4 x's. And 12 is 3 times 4, which is also 3 times 2 times 2, and 3 x's. So I notice a 3, and I notice 3 x's here. There's 4 here, but I can only grab 3 because I'm only grabbing common factors. So here, the GCF is 3x to the third. Okay, so I have 3x to the third. This should be 2x squared plus 3x minus 4. Okay, and as always, check and make sure it multiplies. 3x squared times 2x squared is 6x to the 5th. Good. 3x cubed times 3x is 9x to the 4th. Good. And 3x cubed minus 4 is negative 12x to the 3rd. Good. I'm set. Okay. You're going to try this one, and then you'll get back into your online problems. Okay. Go ahead and pause and try that one. Okay, well, you should have come up with here. Okay, and this was 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, 4 x's. 10 is 5 times 2, 3 x's. 14 is 7 times 2, and 2 x's. So you could see the 2 x's are in common. And then we also have a 2 in common. Okay, so the GCF is 2x squared, right? There's 2 x's and a 2. And then factored form is 2x squared, 4x squared, minus, right, careful and catch the signs, minus 5x plus 7.